Welcome to this legendary podcast with Eric Kanevsky official and no one safe Tanner. Tanner is his first name. I just gotta say it wrong, whatever. Today we're the Scale Up Podcast.
Scaling Up
Podcast.
You finally forced your way on here.
Unfortunately, it's actually not the Scaling Up Podcast. It's whatever podcast this is, it's not the one that I wanted to come to record myself and then actually speak out.
Well, the problem is you don't want to speak out. You want to come and not say anything, like you're The Rock or some shit.
They haven't been inviting me to their podcast. They have their own podcast called Scaling Up Podcast in the background right here. I don't know if you can see it. I was never invited, unfortunately. It's kind of crazy to even think about it because I was the guy who was with Eric from pretty much the beginning. And Tanner only had 10,000 followers at the time, maybe less.
300 when I met you guys. Well, yeah. I don't know if I met you at that time, but pretty soon after that, yeah.
Just 300 followers?
300 subscribers on YouTube when I met Eric.
I met this dude 5 or 6 years ago, and then they still haven't invited me to their podcast. Eric, you have anything to say about that? Because you're the one who's running the game, so.
Are you trying to say that you've been there before Tanner? Where have you been the last 2 years?
Well, yeah. you and I met way before you had met Tanner, so.
Where you been the past 2 years? What have you been up to, Bask?
I've been up to a lot of things.
Come on, bro. I finally moved to LA.
I
mean,
imagine Tanner didn't exist.
I only saw him. I ran into him twice, coincidentally. Once at the dog park, once at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, imagine Tanner just didn't exist. You would have just left me and my channel to die. You would be doing the same content I'm doing right now on this channel. Commentary channel by yourself.
Getting 500 views.
Scaling Up Podcast with Eric Kanevsky.
Scaling Down.
Scaling Down Podcast. But yes, speaking of this video, guys, so what have you been up to? What's up with pranks? You guys are pretty much done with pranks. I want to hear why, because you're in the same position as you don't believe me why I quit doing pranks. You're in the same position right now.
We didn't quit for the same reason.
Whatever,
you can talk about your reason when you're ready.
Whatever the reason is. What's up with pranks? No more pranks?
At least for the near future. I mean, I'll always do pranks when the opportunity presents itself. If there's a super viral idea or something that just needs to be done. But for the most part, pranks are just dead. People are over them. You know, had you been filming pranks the past couple of years, you'd know that nowadays, when you film pranks, nobody believes it anymore. It's completely changed. It's impossible to get a proper reaction. So everybody knows it takes way longer than it did before. And you know how much work went into it before, so imagine how it is now. And all that work just to get 30K views, because again, people have seen the pranks, they're over them. And nowadays, the way things are, you need to post stuff in volume. There's just no way to do volume with pranks. You can max do one once every 2 weeks, and putting in 2 weeks of full-time work for 30K views. We can't be starving artists forever. At a certain point, when we see that this is going nowhere, we just got to do something else.
And Tanner, with your channel, since you pretty much promote weed in every video, I guess that's the reason why you don't get a lot of views either.
Yeah, I feel like my problem has always kind of been I blew up initially from doing weed content involving in pranks. That was taken off good for a while, and I was getting away with it for a while, but that's not really allowed on YouTube. So I started to get a lot of age restrictions. My shit started to get pushed back. And then when I started to get content that went really viral, actually 1 million views almost or whatever, that was when my entire channel got demonetized. So they completely demonetized my channel for a while, and then I ended up getting it back because I focused more on just doing regular pranks. But for me, those just don't really take off as much as when I involve my niche, which is involving weed in them,
And I remember you used to work with Ross Creation for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Since you moved to LA, I guess you guys don't work anymore?
I actually still am on his website. I haven't really posted a lot consistently, especially because we're kind of getting off of pranks a little bit, and I'm going to be focusing more on the locals and our website there. So yeah, I mean, I was working with him. I was kind of helping him out with his videos. He would be in 1 or 2 of my videos, and then I was posting on realpranks.com for a while. And we're still on good terms and everything. I just obviously don't live there anymore.
With this new content, you guys going to catch predators. You and I last year confronted Vitaly, because Vitaly was the one who started that streaming catching predators. I know Alex Rosen was also catching predators on live stream.
I mean, I feel like every pred catcher does it on live. That's just part of their formula. Vitaly's the only one to do it on Kick that way.
Also, he was inviting big celebrities, as we remember. It was a big thing, I guess, because he would pay them a lot of money to show up. So
that was already later after we confronted him, but yeah.
Whose idea are we stealing today?
Huh?
Whose idea are we stealing today?
Where? I remember that day, how we confronted Vitaly, chasing around LA.
Well, you were tailing him in the car for hours.
For hours, really? 4 hours.
Yeah. Well, I went home and changed. And I took an Uber.
That's funny as fuck. That was a crazy day.
It just happened. It just so happened that he started the stream at Zoo Culture, so we know the location he's at, and we were 5 minutes away. So I'm we were already talking about pulling up on him. So I'm oh shit, Bask, you go tail him. I'm going home to change, because I was dressed as a creep. Oh, yeah. So I had to shave everything off, put the tattoos, yeah, and then I Ubered back and
For those who don't know, Creep is one of his characters on his main channel. If you want to check out who that is, make sure you follow Eric Kanevsky and check his videos out. We confronted Vitaly. Vitaly got upset. He said that you stream sniped him, and then he kept talking crap about you.
Yeah, and the reason we confronted him, to be clear, is not because he was doing pred catches. That would be stupid. A lot of people do pred catches. It's because he literally took my whole formula, doing it as the Russian mafia, quote unquote, making them eat dog food, all the punishments, calling Aiden Ross Mr. Aiden like we had Mr. Wellington. Literally, like, you could tell where his inspiration came from. And he had just met me in Vegas.
That's
like a month ago.
That's what I was gonna say.
And he told me like, oh, I was just watching your videos. So, and he told me he would hit me up or whatever. So all he had to do is just like say this content was inspired by Eric Kanevsky. It would have all been good, but he just completely blew me off and tried to pretend like he came up with the whole concept. So that was the only reason I wanted to confront him.
If we went back in time, would you do it again? Would you confront Vitaly?
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't regret?
Why would I regret it?
Now that he's in prison, don't you feel bad?
Now I have a video to post to capitalize on it.
Are you going to post that video or no?
I did, the short.
Yeah, but like the long...
No, that's on X for people who want to see it. It's linked in my Instagram, and there's a full video on X.
Are you still mad at Vitaly these days or no?
No, I feel kind of bad for him, but that's a whole different discussion. We've been talking about doing pred catches for a while. Since the start of the year, like, we've just been over pranks, mostly me. I can't really speak for Tanner, but at a certain point, Kick actually reached out to me and they wanted me to do catches on their platform. The way I want to do it nowadays is the YouTube friendly way that ends in the Preds getting arrested. I don't just want to do it to entertain the stream, because at the end of the day, that's benefiting nobody. But, you know, if there was a Kick deal involved, you know, I wouldn't say no to that. Basically, Kick at the end, they said, oh, would you mind just doing pranks instead of pred catches? Because Vitaly got into legal trouble doing pred catches. So why don't you just do pranks? And what's fucked is I feel like they told Vitaly the same thing. Why don't you just do pranks instead of pred catches? And look where that got him.
Tanner, and speaking of you, what are you willing to bring on the table since you're a new member of the team? Kind of new in this content as well.
I mean, as far as kind of like what Eric said, we're going to be, you know, doing it like the right way and getting these people actually locked up. But as far as the locals,
maybe to backtrack, we're also, so on YouTube, we're going to be going after the worst of the worst, getting them locked up as they should be. And then we're also going to have a locals where we're going to go after the less serious preds, the ones going after like a 15-year-old. Those ones are going to box Tanner.
Yeah, so basically I'm bringing these hands to the table.
So if an 18-year-old pred comes for a 15-year-old girl, would you box him? Just kind of have a perspective.
We're not really going to be going after like 18-year-olds. I would say like close to 25 and up.
25 and up.
Yeah.
It's fair. 25 against the 15-year-old girl or boy.
Yeah, those are the ones we're going to be.
10-year gap, because
25-year-old is going to be against Tanner. They're not going to be boxing a 15-year-old girl.
I know that. Overseas, for instance, a lot of young girls dating like 20, 22-year-old dudes. It's like a normal thing as long as it's mutual and there's nothing against that.
I mean, overseas, it's normal to have a toilet in your kitchen in some places.
For sure. But I'm saying, like, from a perspective of a person who was born in Russia, we have 15-year-old girls dating 22-year-old dudes, and it's fine for parents because it's mutual. And that's why I'm trying to make a point. Are you guys trying to catch predators that are like the beginning of their 20s or mid-20s and higher?
I definitely agree that there's levels to this shit. Like, no matter what age you are, if you're going after like CP, then you're just fucking terrible, right? Even if you're 18, 20, 30, 40, doesn't matter. But if you're a 25-year-old going after a 15-year-old, or let's say in your case, like you said, a 22-year-old going after a 15-year-old, in my opinion, that's still weird as fuck and something you shouldn't do. There's levels that's nowhere near as bad as someone going that has like CP on their phone and all that.
I think the reason guys do that because they just don't feel confident to pick up a girl their age, so they find somebody more vulnerable, which is usually younger girls, that they're more like, oh yeah, sure, let's do it, maybe it's like a psychological level of
I've just always thought it was weird for older guys to go after, even if like as me 30 years old, if I were to go after like an 18-year-old, I just feel like that's fucking weird.
I don't see anything wrong with that, but that's
I don't know.
different.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's completely legal. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, in terms of legal issues, since you're gonna box, what if you get in legal trouble? How are you gonna protect yourself?
So as far as the legal thing, we're giving these guys an option. We're not tying their hands up, forcing them to walk in the boxing gym. We're gonna be like, look, you can leave right now, obviously, but we're gonna turn in all this information to the cops, and you're probably gonna end up going to prison. Or you can just, do a 3-round boxing match with me.
And again, this is for the less serious spreads. The serious ones are getting locked up, hopefully, no matter what.
For sure.
Now we're gonna call the cops on them. Whatever happens, but the goal is to get them locked up. Right. This is for the less serious spreads.
And these guys, like I said, we're gonna give them the option, and then once they come in the gym, they're gonna sign a waiver, and they're gonna give us full consent to a 3-round boxing match. It's a little bit harder than a light sparring session, but I'm not gonna try to fucking kill them or knock them out. You know what an expedition fight is?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna knock him out. I'm just gonna fuck
Exhibition,
him
you mean?
up. Exhibition. Where it's like you're allowed to fuck each other up, but like you're not allowed to knock each other out.
What if they start running away from you? Like breaking window, whatever.
Well, once they're already inside the gym, I don't think they're going to be breaking windows.
Yeah, there's going to be like trainers in there too. Like,
so our plan right now is if they try to run away before like we even talk to them or anything like that, we're going to have somebody on a bicycle chasing them down until they get tired. And then we're just going to pull up in the car and be like, hey, you want to have a conversation now?
One more thing. What if a predator shows up with a gun?
We search them instantly. That's the very first thing we do. As soon as we reveal what's happening, you're not here to meet a 15-year-old, you're here to meet us. We're going to be like, put your hands up, let me search you for weapons.
You gotta be quick on that, because if he started reaching down before you even ask him, then you gotta jump on him.
Yeah.
And first thing, just my advice, first thing, you go for his hand, because reaching with that hand, so you gotta go for the hand, so he doesn't have that option to kind of pull the trigger on you, you know?
And just slam his ass.
Just my advice. I was gonna ask you kind of question off this topic about Chris Hansen. Do you think Chris Hansen did his television show for money or for cause? Because he's that type of person who like presents himself as the person that he does a good thing for society. You guys doing it for the cause and potentially for the money, obviously. You think Chris Hansen did the same thing?
I feel like our goal is pretty much the same as their goal at the end of the day, like the cause, entertainment, and money. Chris Hansen, I feel like he was just the type of person that like they were like, yo, you have a good voice, come be the host of this show. So
I feel like he was just like the face of it. Yeah. I don't think he really had any involvement in actually like setting the Preds up or anything like that.
Yeah, so he's definitely just doing it for the money. But yeah, for us, it's like the cause too, and obviously it's our job making content, but it's also fucking entertainment. People want to see these motherfuckers getting locked up or getting their ass beat.
So far, just off of one shout out from my YouTube video that has like no views, we have 2,000 subs, which shows me that a lot of people want to see us do this. And I'm very excited about that. If it's something that people actually want to watch and we can actually do good at the same time, like that's a win-win the way I look at it.
If any predators watching this video right now, what do you guys recommend for them?
I mean, to turn the video off, because if they see it, then they're probably not going to come. Although some are really stupid, you never know.
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, even if they are watching this, even if they're watching Chris Hansen, they're still addicted. They're still going to do this. They're still going to get baited in. So it doesn't matter if they're watching this or not. They're still fucked.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like I see,
it's like a heroin addict, a cop telling them, "Hey, it's illegal to do that." Just letting you know.
Yeah, they show up and
they're still gonna go buy heroin and they're still gonna inject the heroin. Like,
they show up, they say, "Oh, I know who you are. I used to watch you, this and that," but they still did it. It's like I know there's cops, but I still murder somebody.
Exactly.
No Preds are safe.
No Preds safe.
The community is about to be very safe, though. Everyone's safe, besides the Preds.
I've always wanted to make a channel called Everyone's Safe.
That was one of the names people somebody suggested on the podcast for the Catching
Everyone's
Preds.
Safe?
Yeah, I'm like,
really?
Yeah, that's not bad.
Hilarious.
All right, and to wrap up this video, I'm gonna put the link in the pinned comment. Check out their new scaling, what is it?
Scaling up caches.
Scaling up caches. Make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for upcoming first video. I'll be reacting to that video. Maybe I'll even be filming that video, so we'll see.
Well, you'll be filming for the locals.
Don't promise anything.
Why, you got something else going on?
That's for another video.